Okay, so we are live and we are not yet in LinkedIn, I see.
Yeah, now we are live.
Now we are in LinkedIn already. So good luck,
Welcome,
guys.
everyone. Hello.
Okay,
Hi.
so we are live and we are not yet in LinkedIn, I see.
Yeah, now we are live. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to welcome you to today's Learn and Lunch session. Can you please write down from which country are you joining with us and write it down in the chat so then we can know who you are and where you are joining from. Let's see. First, people are writing down. Really curious to see where you are joining from. Write it down in the chat and we can slowly kick off. So, on behalf of Women in Tech Netherlands, I'd like to say hello and welcome to our monthly Lunch and Learn sessions. My name is Mira Vasic, and I'm a member of Women in Tech Netherlands. I'm also a co-owner and senior partner at In Touch Female Leadership and Career Academy, and I'm very proud to be your host for the new season of our Lunch and Learn sessions. My guest today and the speaker is Roxana Aron. Roxana is an architect turned motion designer. After 7 years of working as an architect, Roxana leaves the world of architecture and becomes an entrepreneur. In 2020, she founded Aron Explainer Videos with the use of storytelling, illustrations, and animations. Her company makes complex subjects easy to understand. Her clients use explainer videos to market their products and services to thousands of viewers in one go. Welcome, Roxana. It's a real pleasure to have you as our guest today.
Hi, Mira. Thanks for the invitation. I'm really excited about it. Hi to everybody.
You are welcome. You are really welcome. So, today, together with Roxana, we are going to talk about three main things. The first one is making the career switch in tech. The second one, what's important when thinking to start your own business. And the third one, the best advice for expat women working in tech. So grab your healthy lunch and cup of coffee or tea and enjoy while learning with Roxana. So Roxana, let's start with some questions. And in the meanwhile, if all of you from the audience, if you have any question, type it down in the chat and we are going to pick those questions and ask Roxana live during this LinkedIn and YouTube broadcasting from our Women in Tech Global Movement platform. So Roxana, I'm sure everyone are really curious. So what happened? Why did you decide to make that career switch from architect to motion designer?
I think I always wanted to have my own company, and I thought, okay, let's first work for a bigger company, gain some experience, learn how to work in a team, have all of the basis of yeah, what it is to work and to work. And Yeah, I think it started actually in childhood. That I had a little experiment with a few friends that we sold. We had like an aquarium shop, a mini aquarium shop in my grandfather's kind of garage, and I think it all started from there, and I still reference that moment.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
and it's been my dream for a while.
And you were born and raised in?
I was born and raised in Romania. Yeah.
Yes, very nice. Thank you for sharing. And I can see also in the chat that we have people joining really from all around the world. Irena says greetings from Finland, from Pakistan, Mariana from Portugal, Jennifer from Singapore, Faiz from Iranian Australian, some other people from Italy, Netherlands, so Switzerland, Ghana, France. I hope there is someone from Romania also joining us today. So really people from all around the world. Thank you, Roxana, for sharing about the career switch. And what I also wanted to hear from you is what is really important when starting to think about beginning your own business, because you didn't just change the career within a corporate organization, but you did something more strong and something more bold. So you started your own company. So what is important when people start thinking about that?
I think the first thing you need to consider is your motivation, your why. Why do you want to do it? Yeah, and really consider that it's not be realistic about it because it's quite tough and there are a lot of minuses. So don't idealize being an entrepreneur, but also don't idealize working in a bigger corporation. So kind of middle ground, be realistic. Afterwards, try to find also a balance between what you like to do. So investigate what you like to do, what are you good at, and then at the intersection of what are you good at and what the market demands. So kind of at that middle ground, you need to offer yeah, what are you offering? Yeah, what's your value proposition? So something that you like and something that is needed. And yeah, also take your time because it's quite a slow process. So I've been thinking about it for quite a while. I was very nervous about it. I had several tries and it didn't work out. Now it is working out, but yeah, be perseverant. That's another good thing. So yeah.
I really like your advices, especially the one with the patience. I think that's really important, and even more important that you took action. So you didn't end up only on that patience and waiting, but you really took action in that sense. And I really got curious now about what is your why?
What is my why? I think it comes down to this image in my grandfather's garage. That's the why, one why. Another why is why from architecture to motion design. So architecture is a very complex thing, and my one goal was to be a one-woman show. So even in 5, 10 years, I still want to be a one-woman show and work through collaborations. And I don't think that works in architecture because, yeah, you need to be a team of 10 plus people. It's quite complex. It's very slow. Yeah, and motion design, explainer videos. It's in a month, 2 months, you already see results. So I like the speed also.
You like to be in the
The
action
pace.
and freedom
Yeah, yeah.
of shaping your own business and the impact that you make. And now I'm sure all of the people that joined us really from all around the world, we see some people still also joining from our tribe. Savannah, hello Savannah, greetings to you as well. And I'm sure everyone are now curious. So you make complex subjects easy to understand through your videos, but how do you do that? Can you show us how do you do that?
Yeah, sure. So basically on explainer videos, how I approach it. So an explainer video for me has two functions: to inform and to delight. To inform, so the basic structure that I use throughout the video is we start with the problem. What is the problem of what is the who are you selling to? Who are you addressing? So address their most important problem, then place your product as the solution, explain the features, and do the call to action. So these are, let's say, this is the main structure, the backbone of the script. Afterwards, the delight section is, yeah, it's based on how people, yeah, on human nature, kind of. So it's a combination of voiceover and illustration and music, and it all has to do with how we learn and how we feel. So those on top of the script enhance the message and make you retain information more easily. Think just like if you have kids, or you know those cards when you first learn a new language, you have like a picture of a car and then a car written
Yeah.
below. So in a very simplified way, that's what an explainer video does. You associate visual with language. So that's why it's way more powerful than yeah, than just text or image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I hear from you is you use a combination of educational material, taking into account the emotions of people and their individual stage, and then helping them to find what they actually need. And I think that's really beautiful. that you are using this multidisciplinary approach in order to help people to get what they really need. And do you have an example for us? Can an example of your video? Is that possible?
Yes, of course.
Let's see.
Heb jij een inefficiënt screeningproces en wil je 100% zekerheid dat je vakbekwame mensen aanneemt? Optimaliseer je pre-employment screeningproces met Authentica's geautomatiseerde oplossing. Ontvang 100% betrouwbare kandidaatgegevens van sectoroverschrijdende registers in Nederland. Diploma's, beroepskwalificaties en identiteitsgegevens binnen enkele minuten geverifieerd. Optimaliseer je candidate experience. Geautomatiseerde pre-employment checks met Authentica. Bezoek de website en ontvang 3 gratis screenings.
Wow. Congratulations, Roxana.
Thanks.
You're welcome. To all of you joining from LinkedIn and YouTube, please write down your reaction. What do you think about Roxana's video, about her explainer video, and about the fact that she made a career switch and that she started her own business? Write down in the chat. We are really curious to hear about that as well. Roxana, it's really amazing to see something that you created from the scratch. So you are responsible for all the stages in the video. And how does that feel for you, that you are taking the ownership of such a product?
So I have a mention about this. So I work with a team. So I work with a professional copywriter. I work with a sound designer. So with the copywriter, we develop the script and the concept. So it's not only me. I said one woman show, but it's still a bit of collaboration.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know about ownership. I'm happy to share, so I'm not.
Very nice. And I'm also curious then, what about your friends, your family? How did they react when you told them, look, everyone, I'm gonna stop being an architect and I'm just gonna go for being a motion designer? How was their reaction?
Yeah, I think everybody was very encouraging once I explained why I want to, and everybody kind of saw how excited I was about the change. So everybody was very, very supportive and very nice. I think the biggest, let's say, enemy that I've ever had is myself. Yeah, so I think, maybe a lot of people identify with this, that,
for
the
sure.
biggest critic and, is yourself usually.
Yeah, that is so. I can relate to that myself as well. I was working my whole life as a structural engineer. And then at some point, I decided to make what people call career switch. But for me, it was a logical transition in my career. And I became executive coach and expert trainer. And there was a lot of people who were really excited by my new job and my enthusiasm about helping women to get more influence on the world. But there were also very close people to me, people from my family that were saying, well, are you crazy? You want to leave your full-time great job that you have in an organization and just go into something unknown? And it made me doubt also, as well, as you say, sometimes we are our own biggest enemy. And but after some time of thinking with myself and really doing it, I knew that it was the best, one of the best choices in my life. So I'm really proud of that, and I'm proud of you that you made that. There are some questions. Let's go to our audience. And Sana is asking, what is Roxana's business model? Roxana, can you share that with the audience?
Yeah, tough question. So at the beginning, it's always search. So you need to do a lot of market research, see exactly where you place yourself in what are you offering, who are you offering to. I think the most important thing is to offer as much value as you can for your client. So don't be generic, try to do some market research beforehand and understand what are the biggest problems that your ideal client is having. So that's how I would approach it.
Yeah.
And it's not, you have a business model now and you're going to use it for 10 years. So you need to be very flexible also. That's why, engaging with your ideal client is always important. So you start with an assumption. What's the assumption? And then you go test it out by talking to people.
Yeah, really nice. I really like it. The resilience, that is something which is really important in business, no matter what business you have.
Yeah.
And and what you are saying, adapting to your client's needs and being in constant communication with your client and reinventing your business. I think that's in the new era of doing business very, very important. There is another question. Christiane asks, how did your architecture skills help you in your new challenge? Can you share something?
Oh, that's such a nice question. Yeah, it sounds like it's a very different thing than what I was doing before, but it's actually not really. So as an architect, I would often make explainer PDFs, let's say, for real estate developers. Giving insight into why we did what we did, what was our motivation, and it's actually the same type of skill that I used for presenting to real estate developers, but now in video form. So the PDF got animated, and it's kind of, it's very much the same thing in terms of explaining complex things, but it's way better because it involves way less money. So that's nicer.
Yeah.
In comparison to architecture. Yeah.
Really nice.
Less stressed.
Less stressed.
Yeah.
That's also important, right? We don't want to make things even more difficult. I also see that people often ask me also, like why you studied engineering and now you transitioned into this one. How is that useful? And what I find really important, and I think that's similar with the architecture, is that practical approach and hands-on and really making something useful and something meaningful that people can use right away. And that's what you said about that. You want to see the results right away and you want to make direct.
Yeah, indeed. There are a lot of skills, especially people skills, that translate from architecture to what I'm doing now. For example, in architecture, you would learn how to deal with working with a lot of people that are creative. So, there are big egos in creative environments always. And I think that helped a lot now with better communicating with clients, I think. So indeed, there are a lot of skills that are translatable.
Yeah, because the business at the end of the day is people's game, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good. Let's see. Sana also has a question. She asks, is the data science part of your business? And she asks, how can this community, I think she's referring to Women in Tech Global Movement, how can this Women in Tech Global Movement help in such business so we can learn from you?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Let's go through it again.
Yes. So let's one by one. So first question is the data science part of your business? That's quite easy question, right? Do you use data science in your business?
No. Or I don't know.
Answer as well. Good. Okay. Let me see. Let's see some other questions. What's also interesting to hear from you, because you mentioned these creative people and these are the people that you worked with, but I'm also curious to understand your own creative process. So where do you, Roxana, get ideas from? How do you get inspired? How do you get motivated to do the creative work?
Yeah, so I always start with a pragmatic approach. So I think who is going to see the video, so that's my main, let's say, motivation. And then I curate all of the creative according to that. So let's say if it's a more, I don't know, if an NGO, for example, I'm gonna look for different references for an NGO than for a corporation. So that's like, let's say, the seed of everything. And then I look for a lot of references at the beginning, and references can come from the same industry, other explainer videos, other motion designers, but also from cinematography theory, from, I like a lot of Japanese animation, Disney also. And I check it from like a technical point of view, not like Winnie the Pooh, but like I check transitions, I check composition. So what's in the foreground, what's in the background, how do they draw attention? So you say Disney, but it's actually a very, very technical, and they were the best, they were the pros. So I still reference them sometimes.
Cool. That's really creative to hear that, and really hands-on. I think a lot of people in our audience can get inspired by this one. Someone mentioned also the imposter syndrome in the chat, and you mentioned that sometimes we are as women, our biggest enemy. But then, do you have an advice? So how can we, as women, for example, working in a male-dominant tech field, how can we make ourselves be seen and heard by other people?
Yeah, that's a really funny question, because when I was working in architecture, I bought this book that I recommend to everybody. So Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office, and I was looking through it, and I have a sign here, and the sign is at being invisible. So apparently, the biggest problem that I had at that point, I don't think I have it anymore, was to be invisible, and it took a lot of effort to get over this, and I think to learn how to be more assertive. I think that's the most important thing that I would recommend to other ladies in this environment. So have more courage to stand up for yourself, to speak out, to negotiate, to tell other people what you want. If you think there's something unfair, speak out. Just speak out. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. And sometimes it can help to find an ally who would support you in that speaking out.
Of course, community is extremely important. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. Evelina says, nice meeting, to hear your story, Roxana. Oluchi says, hi from Abuja, Nigeria. Hello, everyone. Hi to everyone from really all around the world. I'm also curious, because you said, of course, you were born in Romania. I was born and raised in Serbia, and now we both live in Netherlands. And I know that actually the funny thing about our Dutch tribe, about Women in Tech Netherlands chapter, is that we have only one Dutch person in the chapter, Liek, I say, and we are all other expat women. So Roxana, what would be your best advice for expat women working in tech?
Yeah, so I think learn the language, and then you only have to deal with being a woman, not with an expat. Yeah, if you learn the language, you're not an expat anymore, or you're not seen as an expat anymore, and then you only have the one other problem to deal with. Not that being a woman is a problem, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And did you ever encounter some kind of, biases in your work because you are a woman and because you are an expat? Did you ever encounter something like that?
Yeah, I think it's very much a personal thing. I didn't focus that much on being a woman, or I didn't see that people would place me on a smaller ladder because I was a woman. But being an expat was a bit difficult, as I said, because of language barriers. So if I would want to be a project leader in a big architecture company, I would absolutely have to speak Dutch.
Yeah. That is really so. I am really amazed by different experiences that different women have abroad and that expat women have abroad, and it goes all the way from, I haven't never experienced anything, over, well, sometimes, up to, I really feel microaggression every day. And I think it's really interesting also to know that about 30% of women working in tech are actually the onlys, what they call them. And they are the only women in a team, the only women in a meeting. And the research also shows that these women feel 2 times more watched, observed, or questioned for their expertise. And then if there are an expat women working in tech, there is what we call the double discrimination bias. So we should all be very aware about that. Let's see. Sylvie says cybersecurity is almost only occupied by men. So a lot of work to be done there as well. And Jagerpet says, she says, as Roxana mentioned, I think it's really important to be more visible. Would love to discuss building strong personal brands, being more assertive and intentional with your content. And let's tackle that a little bit, Roxana. So of course you post a lot of educational videos on LinkedIn, and you are showing people what can be done with the content motion. But what is your intention with the LinkedIn content that you are posting? What do you want to reach, and why do you post on LinkedIn? People also ask this. Why do you post so much on LinkedIn? So, Roxana, why do you post on LinkedIn?
Well, I have like a really weird explanation. You know, when you see like a really engaging video that your eyes kind of go like this, kind of that's my let's say goal, to make people to surprise and to delight, and yeah, that's kind of it. And it's very nice to connect. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not very good at the content marketing. I think it's a very strange world that you need to invent a new digital self. So I'm still working on it.
Work in progress.
But yeah, experiment.
Yeah, very good. Very good. And what I hear from you, you are there to delight, to surprise people. And I really like that approach, because nowadays people really think about social media like something very bad, and I don't want to post anything to be in that public space.
Oh.
But it can be really a creative space. And I really like the way you do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would just say, like, don't spam and think about who are you, who do you want to address, and try to be useful. Try to don't think about yourself. I did this, I did that, but think about what others would like to see from you, and how can you bring value to the platform, because otherwise you're just spamming, and that's not nice.
Very good advice. Thank you, Roxana. And let's see one of the last questions from the audience. Christian asks, do you have tips for us? We are not video professionals. How can we use videos to communicate our ideas in social media? Thanks.
Of course. Yeah. Well, make a video of yourself of why. What's your motivation? What are the most important things your company believes in? And be enthusiastic about it. And just show your face, because that's really important.
Nice. Really practical advices also. So thank you, Roxana, for that one. And I have a very last question for you also, Roxana. Of course, we have to look back into the past period, and we all know that Corona was happening, still is. So can you share with me and with our audience of Women in Tech today, how was it for you to start your own business in the period of Corona pandemics?
So I think the classic answer is it was not good, but actually for motion design, for explainer videos, it was amazing. So there was twice more work, because nobody would do live video. So there was nobody like filming with an actual camera. You would have to work remote, and working in 3D, 2D. So what we do now with explainer videos, that worked super well.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, that's also interesting to hear. Also for us at In Touch Female Leadership and Career Academy, really we managed to expand our business internationally and to help women from all around the world to get the career that they deserve. And I believe also Women in Tech global movement really flourished in that time, because women were even more disconnected from each other and disconnected from communities. And Women in Tech Global Movement is a platform and network that really offers that feeling of community, and especially with these kind of practical sessions that we host at Women in Tech Netherlands chapter every month. Thank you so much, Roxana, for today. I just want to finish by one thought, and that is what you said. So go for it. Start doing your thing slowly, but at the end of the day, go for your own passion and your own thoughts. Would you like to say something, to say hello to our audience for the end, Roxana, as well?
Yeah, sure. So another thing is, don't be too hard on yourself. Just keep on doing it, and it's gonna be fine. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to thank everybody for joining. And if you have any other questions that I didn't answer, connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to do it there.
Thank you so much, Roxana. So you
Thank
all
you,
heard.
Mira, for the invitation.
So follow Roxana, connect with Roxana, engage her in your communities and networks. Join our Women in Tech Global Movement. Join our Dutch chapter if you are also in the Netherlands or anywhere in the world. Join these sessions every month and keep being empowered and inspired. Have a good day or night, depending from where from the globe you have joined us today. Bye-bye to everyone.
Bye.